A really hard part about ankylosing spondylitis is you can't see it. A lot of the times it seems like we live two different lives. One life is the times we're really struggling, even if we're at home, we're limping around, we're crawling around, we wake up and we're trying to loosen up. For a lot of us, we have a really hard time moving in the morning and we just look like completely different people. Then there's the other life where we're outside of our house, going to work and appearing like, maybe nothing's wrong with us. So really hard thing I grapple with is, people just don't know, what we've kind of gone through and been through with this, especially movement wise, exercise wise. And a lot of us face this when we say go to physical therapy, go do a workout class, go try personal training, go play sports. A lot of folks just don't really know what we've been through exercise wise or what we're trying to achieve. So, my anecdote is I want to share this and just hear people's thoughts on this. I've talked a lot about how, I've tried to play sports over the years. I've really worked so hard just to get back to playing basketball. There's been periods where I couldn't play because of sciatica or hip pain or what be it with ankylosing spondylitis, low back pain, periods where I couldn't play at all. And there's been times where I've been able to play and really still be able to be a good player. But a really hard part of this is, people don't know I have ankylosing spondylitis if I go to play in a pickup basketball game. No one's going to take it easy on me, and I don't want them to take it easy on me since, I'm still a great athlete and, people view me as an athlete. They don't know that I have, say, SI joint damage and that, maybe I'm a lot more fragile than it seems. So over the weekend, played pickup basketball, took a bit of a shot to my lower back, kind of a cheap shot to my lower back. If the person knew I had an inflammatory disease, would they have taken it easy on me and not done it? I don't know. I think a hard part of this is that, maybe like a workout class where the instructor's taking it hard on you and you're saying your low back's bothering you, but they just say, to push through the pain, right? So I took a bit of a shot to my low back. In the moment, I knew that it was going to cause such pain, just such pain for days. I just thought about, all right, it's Saturday now. The weekend's just off the table now. I'm going to be in pain from this for a week. And this is one of the hard things I've struggled with. Basketball has kind of saved me. It's kept me going, kept me motivated. It's kept me moving over the years. And it's really helped me with my flexibility. It's helped my mental health. And it's given me a purpose to keep moving. So it's been kind of my cardiovascular thing that's kept me moving, gives me a form of community. But at the same time, there's been times where I've tweaked something from it. I've made sciatica worse. In this instance, now my low back's been absolutely killing me for a couple days. I think I'll be all right. I think it'll eventually go away, but you just think about all the work you put in just to get out there and the gratitude I felt just to be out there. Whenever I can play basketball, I just think about, I'm just so lucky I can still do this. But then there's that other aspect where I do try to protect myself a lot of the times, but sometimes it's inevitable. And that's where we talk about the contact sports, how it can be challenging for us. A lot of people just can't do it. It's just too hard on the body. There's been many times where I can't do it. It's somehow finding a balance, but just my thoughts over the weekend was just about how challenging this can be. When this happened, I just knew how much my low back was going to hurt. I was just so angry about it. I was just so angry at the person that did this because I thought it was kind of an intentional thing. Maybe if you did that to someone else, it wouldn't have mattered. But I just think because my low back is so vulnerable, the SI joints, that it just caused such low back pain. And it's now going to take me a while to recover from it. So this is one of the just really challenging parts about ankylosing spondylitis. People just don't know. And, a lot of folks are going through things. It doesn't have to be ankylosing spondylitis. I recognize that. But I like talking to the community on this because we're all dealing with the same thing. And I think that's why it's so important to have this sense of community. People who have been through it, people who are challenging themselves in the fitness world, to get fitter with this, but to also be cautious. It can be such a hard balance to think about, And I think that's one that I've been trying. I always try to consider, how can I improve my fitness without causing any more damage, getting injured. And this might be a hard thing I'll always have to deal with, because I'm always going to want to play basketball. Right now, I don't want to play for a few days, obviously, because my low back's in so much pain. But ultimately, it's kept me going. And once I get over this, I'll train harder. I'll want to get back. I'll train harder. I'll try to be a little more cautious with protecting my body. But again, I think the nature of ankylosing spondylitis is sometimes we just can't. And we're going to have to deal with kind of the risk reward. You know, I have a lot of clients that have trouble just getting on the ground to do certain type of movements. And sometimes we can get on the ground and do things, but then getting off the ground can sometimes cause a low back tweak, a low back flare. So we're always trying to determine, are these movements better off for us, better off for our body? Are we progressing something? Is getting on the ground better for us if we're able to do some of these movements than maybe the low back tweak? And a lot of the times, maybe not. Maybe we want to stay away from the ground and do other things, or try different movements first if a movement is just too hard on the body, and then go back to it later on. So a large part of this is trying to adapt our routine to make it fit us. And that's what I always try to do with playing basketball, making sure that I've trained properly, I've progressed it properly. But sometimes this stuff is just inevitable, and the only people that can truly understand are others with ankylosing spondylitis. So I just wanted to share that anecdote. It was a tough weekend. But a large part of this is I just gotta pick myself back up, do whatever I can just to keep everything else loose. My low back really is extremely irritated, so I'm gonna this week focus on just trying to loosen up everything else in the body, keep going with strength training in ways that don't mess around with the low back. We'll get through this and we'll keep going. See you next time.